Alright, so a quick view in ear when you're using these. They're not going to fall out. They stay put really well, quite comfortable, and the magnetic attraction in the case is probably my favorite part. Well, the case itself, but the magnets in addition. So, but yeah, I just wanted to show you this, and you just touch the actual headphone portion piece casing, and that is your control function. It takes a while to get used to with the taps and different things. Sometimes you don't quite get what you want the very first time, but they actually work quite well. Alright, so let's jump into some more details. Alright, so today I am taking a look at a set of earbuds. These are, I think they're kind of interesting in the way the case is designed. I like that design, and I've got it plugged up excuse me, and charging. Well, you can't really see that because of the camera, but basically you've got 4 lights, and right now the only one that's technically actually blinking is the last one. So I don't think that's going to show up on camera properly. It's going to flicker because of the refresh rate the camera is capable of. But by any means, you'll see each one flash as it progresses during charging. Charging the case, from what I'm finding, is taking about an hour to charge the case, so not too bad. Now I want to show you what's included really quick, and I'm going to get these out of the way so I don't lose them. These are little covers. They're just like little plastic covers that have like a little power button with a finger touching it to indicate that these are touch sensitive, so there's no actual physical button to push. So you'll want to peel these off because they're very, very hard to notice technically, or actually. Now what's included is 2 different user manuals. One is English, one is Chinese. I like this little carrying pouch, so you can keep this thing protected, but you don't really have to have it. You can carry the case itself. You have a little short micro USB cable. I use my own, but you know, they do include one, so that's always nice. And then you have some ear caps and ear hooks, so if you want to dial in a specific size, you have that option. I'm pretty comfortable with what they came with. And then you have the actual box that it comes in over here. Excuse me. And then you have the actual case and the earbuds. So you can see they're red. They're actually charging. They will turn blue when they're fully charged, and I don't know if that'll show up. Probably not, but you can see the little red dots through the actual smoked cover, which is pretty nice. There's a little button right there. If you press that, I don't know if you can see it, sort of looks green, so you can initiate the charge. You've got a hook here, so you can actually connect these to some kind of a lanyard keychain type if you wanted to. Okay, so the actual earbuds, they're quite small. They have little contact points on them that match up to the case, so there's only one way that you can place these in, and they'll begin charging automatically. Now they sound very, very clear. I'm not a big fan of phone calls. I primarily use text, so but it seems to me only one has the microphone, and I believe it was the right side, if I'm not mistaken. It might be. They may both have, but it seemed like it only wanted to pick up properly on one, or at least one did well. So something to consider. But anyway, they get very clear. The microphone works pretty well considering how small they are and how far away from your actual mouth they are when they're in your ear. They're quite comfortable and they stay in really well. I like the design with this little ear hook that is obviously removable. Charging time, as I told you, is about an hour for the 300 milliamp case. I guess that depends on what you have it connected to when you're charging. And as far as the actual earbuds, it depends on how you decide to use these. If you decide to use them in single or dual mode, they actually pair quite easily. together and then to your phone, or you can use each one individually if you just want to listen. And your usage is going to vary. It really depends on the volume a lot. Depends on how depleted you get them or how full you get them if they're 100% full. But you can look at a couple of hours, and their claim is up to 5 hours. I don't use them for 5 hours at a time, so I can't verify 100% that that is the case. But you know, two or 3 hours up to maybe 5 hours, depending on which mode you're using. So, you know, other than that, standby time is 120 hours. So the only thing here, and I've actually turned these on accidentally, it looks like, because I saw the blue light flashing. They're touch sensitive, so you know, whether you tap, I need to stop tapping so I don't dial on my phone, it's in the other room. And that was me calling. Sorry. Sorry. I initiated the call because I was making sure and testing these one last time before I started the review. So anyway, they're quite comfortable. They sound really clear. The only problem is if you're into bass, these are obviously not going to give you the most in terms of bass. So that's not going to be ideal. But the portability and the size and the discreet aspect and the clarity all make them very nice. And again, the pairing is very simple. The Bluetooth strength on these was actually quite good, so I was quite pleased with that as a whole. The range was surprisingly a lot further than I had expected or anticipated it to be. Now they claim to be waterproof, so if you're going to do workouts and such, that's great. But there's some discrepancy on the information provided with these, because there is information also that says not to get them wet. So you can't claim waterproof and sweatproof and rainproof and then suggest people not get them wet. So I can't promise you how that's going to play out if you do happen to be using these in a situation where they become wet. So I would suggest trying not to have that happen. But anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say about them. Again, you know, charge this for an hour. You can charge these off and on several times using this. I think these have 45 milliamp batteries. This is 300 milliamp, so you're going to get a lot of charges. I think they're claiming like 5 times, which is fine. And the visual indicator with the LED lights makes it very easy. You can also charge this device while you're charging the earbuds, which is really nice. And I guess other than that, if you want to find out more, you can click on the link below. You can read other people's reviews. You can see more information specific to the actual unit. Check on the price. I think they may be a little pricier than most people want to spend, but that's really up to the individual to decide. So other than that, if they can get some clarification on wet, not wet, you know, things like that, that would be great for the listing. And you can find out more by clicking on that link. And thank you for watching. I have nothing else to say about them at this point.